Hey guys, this week's video is going to be pretty simple because I've had a very difficult mental health week. So I'm going to talk to you about why and what's been going on with my health, fertility, and all of that while I get ready. So let's go ahead and get into it. I used a little bit of this morning. It gives you like a nice glow. It's rated well on EWG. I like this sunscreen. I usually use a different one, but I ran out, and honestly, I like this one. It gives you like a nice healthy glow to your skin. So that is my base. And then I'm gonna use the Jones Road with the foundation. It's just like a pretty, I would say it's more like a tinted moisturizer, even though it's marketed as a foundation just because it's not like super full coverage, but I do really like it. I also want to try their other foundation. Anyway, let's talk about what's been going on. I'm doing fertility treatments and my body has not been responding the way that it should. My body is essentially screaming, please leave me alone. And I am thinking about listening to it. I am supposed to be starting a cycle, but my ovaries are just not, they're just not wanting to respond in a way that is conducive to fertility treatments. They're not like shut off or anything, but they're just like reacting unpredictably to different medications and things. And I don't want to go too much into detail because then everybody will know like timelines and stuff, and I'm just not ready to share that at the moment, and I appreciate you guys for understanding that. Yeah, just essentially they have not been. And I've been getting really bad side effects from some medications. Like I got such bad anxiety from one of these medications. Such bad anxiety. I was already having anxiety around the finances of it all and the unsure nature of it all and the having to travel to another state of it all, and all of that was just really stressing me out. So anyway, the medication I was on made it worse, and I could not sleep. Not last night or the night before that. So I guess it was Monday night. I could not sleep. I slept for 4 hours. I woke up at 3:57 and I could not go back to sleep for the rest of the night because I was like, anxiety was turning over in my head, and I got into a really, really deep, dark place, and it really scared me because it reminded me of how I felt when I was going through my panic attacks 4 years ago, which was the worst I've ever felt mentally in my entire life. Even, going through all of this, how I felt then was so much worse. I was having like OCD, panic attack. It was all kind of linked together. And it brought me to this place where it was excruciating to be awake. It was excruciating to live life. I wasn't suicidal though. Even though, if someone gets to that point, I'm not judging anyone, but I was not suicidal, but it was just like, it was I was miserable. I was so miserable, and I wanted so badly to pull myself out of it. And, I started going to therapy, and that's basically what pulled me out of it, thankfully. But anyway, this little attack that I was having was really reminding me of that. And yeah, it just brought me to this really, really dark place. And yeah, I don't know if you haven't watched my recent like makeup video talking about POI grief while I'm getting ready. I talk about all the products, but this is the Merit bronzer, and I'm using the Merit blush right now in Cheeky. And then, so yeah, it just brought me to this really dark place and really scared me. And it took me the entire day to get out of that really dark state. It's like when you're in fight or flight, but you just get into this, or I just get into this really dark mental hole sometimes. And it's terrifying, and I'm also scared of having panic attacks again, because it's like just the worst. It's just the worst feeling. It's the worst feeling ever. And yeah, the other day I was feeling like that. And then I went and got monitoring done that day, and I was just exhausted. I was so stressed. And then I got the results back, and my ovaries were not responding. Not really responding at all to the medication. So I was almost a little bit relieved, to be honest, because I was thinking, I'm going to have to apply for this loan, and then I'm going to have to book a flight right away, and I'm going to have to go to New York, and I'm going to have to do these treatments, and I'm going to have to be alone. And then when I found out that my ovaries weren't responding, it was almost a relief. And I just really have to take a step back and wonder if this is what I really want to do, because I don't know, I started thinking about the odds and all of that, and like the financial commitment and what that means. And I just didn't. And I had therapy yesterday. My therapist was like, I think your body and your mind are screaming at you to just leave it alone for the moment. Just take a step back, take a breather, let it go, see what happens at your next monitoring appointment, which is going to be like sometime next week, and then just like see how it goes, and then you can decide from there. And that's basically what I'm gonna do. The eyeshadow that I just used is this Rabanne palette, and the color is the Sparkle. It's really pretty. It's just like a little shimmer. I don't know if you guys can tell. Just a little bit of glitter. Now I'm gonna try and cover this situation here from all of the medications. I also got like from the medication, not just the intense anxiety, but I also got a UTI. I was getting hot flashes and just a bunch of really unpleasant things, which was not nice. I don't think this is gonna be able to be covered. It's just led me to thinking like I need to get myself like out of this situation. I need to get myself out of this frame of mind. I need to take a step back. I need to reclaim my life a little bit. And like, I'm not saying not doing the treatment. I don't know. I just need to wait until my next monitoring appointment, and I need to decide from there. But I need to get back to a more positive space, because I have been waking up every morning and not been feeling good. And that's so bad because of all the stuff that's going on in the world, plus everything that I'm having to deal with in my own life. It's so overwhelming, and it's really weighing on me. My therapist tells me, no matter what's going on in the world, you need to keep living. Life goes on. So no matter what's going on in the world, no matter the tragedies in the past, life has always moved on, and you need to be able to continue living your life. You're no good to anyone if you can't function, if you can't be taking care of yourself, if you can't be doing the things you need to be doing, you're not going to help anyone. So, taking on the world and not being a human and not having a nervous system that is designed to take on that much, it's just impossible. And I was also listening to these podcasts by Sarah Baldwin. She's like a life coach, but she's also professionally trained in trauma therapy as well, in somatic trauma resolution. And she was talking about how, before modern technologies, we would just sort of, like a very long time ago, we would just know about our village. We would just know what's going on in our village. We wouldn't know what was going on in like the rest of the world. And that's what our nervous systems are designed for. It would be like, oh, so-and-so broke his leg 3 days ago. Can you believe that? And that was like the big thing. Or, obviously deaths and things like this, but it was the village. It wasn't taking on the suffering of the entire world. And that is just like sometimes too much for our nervous systems. And with like social media, and you're scrolling and you see, tragedy after tragedy, something that makes you laugh. It's just like it's frying and overwhelming our nervous systems, and it is so bad for our mental health. And me creating content, like I'm trying to put something out there that is gonna help people, that is gonna provide some kind of positive something for somebody's life. Anyway, but social media is very harmful to my own mental health, and it's hard being on it. And like, like I am on it a lot because I create content, and I'm just trying to navigate like finding that balance too, and just like navigating all my own crap, because it's a lot. So I'm still dealing with that, and this video's kind of been all over the place. And then I just wanted to like update you guys as far as ovarian function goes. So I did have last cycle. I don't even know what cycles or anything right now, because my body, like my ovarian function has been all over the map, because I've been getting fertility treatment. So it's not what my body would be doing naturally. And so I can't really speak to that, but I did tell you guys I was going through ovarian suppression. My body created a follicle despite being on ovarian suppression. I had like a 400 estradiol level, and then ovulation failed. And I think it's because I was on this medication to suppress, and so I did not ovulate that follicle, and it's turned into a cyst on my left ovary. It hasn't resolved yet. And then, after multiple days on stimulation, my right ovary has something going on, but it's not where it should be at. So I think my body's kind of like flipping me off a little bit and being like, leave me alone for 5 seconds, please. So that's essentially where that is, and I just want to get back to a place where my body is just doing its natural thing. But I also fear that if I do that, I'm going to be wasting time. And I don't want to waste time because at the end of the day, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how long my ovaries will keep working. I have no idea. Like, none of us really knows. I know that I've been able to improve my ovarian function in the past, but there's also, like, in the back of my mind always, that first stupid doctor who told me your ovaries are going to shut down within 6 months to a year. And obviously, like, I talked to my therapist about this too, and she's like, okay, you need to take that thought and stomp on it and tell it to go fuck itself, because it's not true. That was an abusive statement from a doctor who it was obviously untrue, because I'm now 3 years out from when he told me that. So 6 months to a year passed by a long time ago, and I am still functioning. My ovaries are still functioning, and it could be that I don't go into early menopause. It could be that this is just how my ovaries work. It could just be like that can be a true thing. Women can have low AMH and they can also not go into early menopause. If you Google that, go ahead and Google it. Go ahead and ask ChatGPT, whatever. That is what it says out there. Even with low AMH, it does not necessarily mean you'll go into early menopause. Even with low antral follicle count. I've heard of women with POI who ovulate like once every year or so, and they've been able to get pregnant. And it's just like POI is this, it's a spectrum, right? So there's some women who lose their period completely, and then there's, and then there's not. And then I also don't know if I've even fallen under that diagnosis, because I never technically lost my period. I did have some longer cycles and some shorter ones, but I never lost my period, and I haven't this whole time. And with interventions and things, my body's been all over the place. But yeah, it's spectrum, and I forget where I was going with this. But that is basically it, guys. I'm sorry that this video was all over the place. I just wanted to create like a really honest video, and I honestly don't have the mental capacity to do anything more than this week. I'm gonna link the podcast that I was talking about in the description, and then I also discovered this app through Dear Gabby Bernstein's podcast. It's called Soak, SOAAK, and they're like little sound frequencies that are supposed to help with different things. I don't know. I'm giving it a shot. Yesterday when I was listening to it, I felt that it did like get rid of my anxiety, and I listened to it all last night. I woke up this morning and I was happy. I have not been waking up happy for quite a while. I have not been waking up happy. I've been waking up with a sense of dread, probably for most of this year, because this year has been such a dumpster fire. But anyway, I had a really good dream, and I woke up really happy, and I had it playing on my phone all last night. So anyway, I'll link that app too. I have it down like almost as low as it goes so that you can barely actually hear it, but it's supposed to work anyways. Gonna work on having a better video next week. Thank you so much for your patience with me while I'm going through all this difficult stuff. I know a lot of you are going through a difficult time too, so anyway, I am so grateful to you guys for being here, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.